Crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this birthday card. I showed it on my blog the other day and somebody said could I show how I actually made it. That's on the inside. So I am going to be doing another one of these using the pears, except I'm going to put the stripes up the top and the dots down the bottom like I have on this one, changing it around with a bit of an experiment to see what I thought of it, but I think it is too busy for the fruit. And the other thing I'm going to change is this piece across here. I'm going to use Peekaboo Peach design. The stamp set that I've used is called Fruit Basket. Okay, so it's got the pear, the strawberries is 3-step stamping, and the pineapple, and there's another fruit there, and the fruit bowl. I'm going to use Happy Birthday and You Are the Sweetest. This is all from our Tutti-fruitti sweet. This one here, it comes with, if you buy it as a bundle, it comes with 4 punches, but punch the fruit out. And if you buy the 2 together, you will save 10%. It also comes with, you can get a pack of 6x6 Tutti-fruitti designer series paper, which is what these are here. That one isn't. That was from Coffee Break. But this is the one that I'm going to be using, and this is from Tutti-fruitti. And I just want to show you these as well. There are 4 of our ink spots, and these are going to be absolutely brilliant. If you don't use it for this, you can use it. They'll be great for the Stamparatus, because these little stamps are going to be brilliant. These little stamping spots are going to be brilliant for smaller stamps when you're using Stamparatus. So there you go, that's that. I'll just give you a quick flick on the designer series paper. On one side of it, it's got normal designs, just patterned designs. Some really nice patterns in there. And then on the other side of each sheet, there's a fruity design. They're not all the right way round. Okay, so if you don't like any of the fruit, you can always turn it over and use the other side. Now, I did try using the pineapple, but I did find that they were rather small in comparison. That's the pineapple, oops, in comparison to the size of the pear. And as I said, I really did try it. I tried putting it into a bowl. Let's clear this a bit. But I just think that looks far too small. That is up against the bowl of... But what I did think, as I was getting myself prepared, was what I think would look really nice is a bowl if some of these were cut out, because they wouldn't be too difficult to do. So I might well give that a try, because these are quite a bit bigger. Let me show you that. Okay, so that's the stamped one. Even if you go to the smallest one there, you see it's quite a difference. So I think that would look really nice. I have a lot of patience when it comes to fussy cutting, so I may be able to do it. Right, let's get on with today's card. Oh, one other thing I tried with the pineapple, I tried doing it on crumb cake because I thought the white lines on the pineapple was a bit stark, but I thought that came over too dark, so I dismissed that idea. Oh, there it is, there's one. In fact, let's put that down there as opposed to that one. So it's a bit dark, more dark and dreary, but no, just need something bigger for that one. Either that or a smaller bowl, of course. There's another thought. Right, so I'm going to give you the card pieces that you're going to be needing. Right, so the card base I'm using is in basic black, and this needs to be 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at form 1/8, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored and folded at 10.5. Then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White, one which is in for the inside, and these should measure 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25. And then you need 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. As I say, both of mine come from Tutti-fruitti. And the top piece measures 2 1/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 5.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And the lower piece is 1 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 4.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And this one here should be 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 inches, which is 1.2 by 14 centimetres. On top of that, you will need a piece of this, because you need to die cut one of these. Okay, so you need a piece that's big enough for that, which I didn't measure, but that's about 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. So I've got far more than I need. And you need quite a few scraps of Whisper White for your fruit. Depends how many fruit you're going to use on yours, and also how many bowls. You might decide you just want one bowl. All sorts of things that you could do with this. I've got loads of ideas going through my mind, so I'll concentrate and give you these. So for the fruit, you'll need something for the bowls. You could get 2 bowls out of that. Third bowl. What else do you need? And then you need these sentiments as well. So just a selection of scraps that you have. Right, one of the things I really like about the fruit in this is, although it's 3-step stamping, I only do 2-step, because when you punch the fruit out, it leaves a gap, it leaves a bit of the stamping, so there's no point using the outline. I would use the outline if I wasn't going to punch it out, because that would obviously give it a nice frame. In case you didn't actually pick up on the 3-step stamping, I'm just going to do the 2-step. Like for the pear, I'm not going to do that one there, I'm just going to do that and that. So I have got 2 bowls ready already, already made up like that, and I also have quite a few pears already done. But as always, I will go through the process with you. So first of all, the ink that I use for the pears is Pear Pizzazz, of course. What other colour would I use? Right, and this is just so easy. At first I was worried about the white mark on the pears. When it goes into the bowl, it would look as if I hadn't stamped very well. But once you've got pears down here and you've got your eyes focused that there is a white bit, you don't see that as a problem up here. Okay, so there's just 4. I'm not going to be punching them all out. The stalk part, I am going to use soft suede, and what I do, this is really easy to see which is the right way and which is the wrong way. Let's see if I can show you. You can see by my index finger that top bit has a slanted bit. So I always put a bit of washi tape there, so it just reminds me. I shouldn't need a reminder, but you know, you never know. So just a tiny little bit of ink on there. It's very easy when you've got such a tiny stamp to get ink all around. I get myself in an awful mess with this. Right, now, how far down can I come? can still see that. What I do is the bottom part of that stamp, when I put it on here, I make it look as if it's going to go on top of the green bit, which it may do because I'm doing this from an angle. That has definitely gone on there. I haven't practiced this bit. If you've got your head right over it, it's easy to get the... Oh, that's better. Now if I can miss this, because I want to show you what I do if I don't hit it right. Oh, okay. I didn't do that too well, did I? Let's stamp one more so that I can get a big gap to show you. Right. Why is it that you can't make a mistake when you want to? Right, let's try this again. That's it. Okay, so I've got a white gap between my pear and my stalk. Now, when I'm setting up my punch to punch these out, I try and get it so that I can see the green south of the white bit. And then it means I normally have to twist the stalk bit round slightly. But you will see that you won't see any white bit apart from that white decor bit on the pear. And the reason I do that is so that there's green round here rather than that white being the edge of it. Okay, so that's that one. Let me punch this one out as well. Right, I'm lining it up so that I get that green bit, and obviously I'm going to get a white bit on there. I assume you can see that bit. Yep. Okay, and you'll also see there's a white bit on the tip up here as well. Okay, now that happens quite a bit. Or it happens quite a bit with me. So first of all, the gap up here, I fill this in with brown. So I use the soft suede marker pen and I just draw the line across. Okay, so no gap. And then when I've got the white bits up here, I just go with my marker pen on there. In fact, I should have done that with crumb cake because that one comes out too dark. But I'm not using it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But at least it gets rid of all the white bits. And the only white you're left with is what should be here, down here. Right, so once I've done that, I've got all of my pears. Let's bring these over. Those ones there as well. Oh, that's right, something else I've gone and done on mine. In fact, I haven't done them on these new ones, and it doesn't really matter apart from the ones you're going to leave on the table. When I say leave them on the table like this, can you see that on these, I don't know what they call the little bit at the bottom there, but there's a brown bit at the bottom of the pears. I draw that on as well because I just don't think they actually look finished without. These ones I've already put on dimensional, so they're ready. Just saves a little bit of time. Right, so with my, again, soft suede, no I don't, I use crumb cake for this, I think. Well, let's start with crumb cake. If it's too light, then I can go back. There you go. Just do a little line like that. And I just think it helps make it look finished. If you're not bothered about this, you can leave this bit out. If they're going in the bowl, it doesn't really matter because you don't see that bit anyway. But those are going on my table. Right, so what do? I start off with some bowls. So let's stamp a bowl. I only need one because as you see I've done 2 of them. And for the bowl I'm going to do with basic black archival ink. That's something else I wanted to show you. On this one I've used basic grey, and on this one it's basic black. The inside stamp is the same, that's smoky slate, but again I wanted to see what it looked like. The bowl has to be fussy cut, but it's not that difficult. And with the inside of the bowl, in my mind's eye I can see that it's a glass bowl, a frosted glass bowl, so grey seems to be like silvery coloured, if you like. So just stamp off and then line that up. I line the top line up first and then just check the other bits are lined up. There we go. It's really quite subtle, but I think that looks like glassy type. Obviously you could do a coloured bowl if you wanted. In fact that might have been an idea, mightn't it, to have done the Peekaboo Peach on it. Never mind, I'm not going to change plans halfway through. Okay, so just cut that out. I don't leave any white edge on this. Not intentionally anyway, but I will show you what I do if I do finish up with some. And it is always easier to move the cardstock when you're cutting rather than moving your scissors. There we go. So if you find you've got any white bits left over, you can take your basic black marker pen and working from the back, just go over the edges there. It would also get rid of the white cut mark that you have as well. Again, just gives it a little finished look. Now the next bit is I use tear and tape, which is here, and I put a little piece across the top of the bowl on the inside, okay, and then I remove the backing. And then I will use my tweezers yes. And when I put the fruit in the bowl, obviously if this was a real bowl, the fruit wouldn't come over the edge there. So that's the first one. And it's going to cling to that tape at the back. And I do run the other side, and I do try and put them into different positions. And put one in the middle, Sometimes I'll put them low, sometimes not so low. There you go. See, I've run out of sticky stuff now, so what I do is I put another line on top of the last one. Okay, then remove that bit. So now I can put my pear where I want it to go. And then another one. And then it's up to you to keep going however many you want. Right, how am I doing with these? 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4. Oh, I've got 7 in each of those. Okay. Mind you, not that I need to have the same in each. No, that's not going to stick. So I need another small piece. This I'm just tearing because it's getting smaller and smaller. And it's going a bit higher. I find that doing this as opposed to using Tombow is a lot cleaner. Oops. Okay, make this one the last one. There we go. Okay, so that's my 3. And what I do next is where I've got exposed tape here, I do put another little piece back on again, which is why these aren't sticking on here. Oh, that one's coming off, but okay, so that's that. And 6 of these I have put small dimensionals on the back of. I'll keep those there in case I decide to have any more. Right, so that's my bowl of fruit. Now I need the sentiments. I have used very large blocks in comparison to the size of these stamps, and also this stamp here actually says happy birthday to you, and I've cut the to you off. As always, if you do this to your stamps, you do make the guarantee with Stampin' Up for that stamp set null and void, because you have effectively deliberately damaged your stamp. The only thing that I would recommend with the photopolymer stamps is that you check each stamp before you actually cut one. As long as they all stamp okay, you're fine to go. The only time I've ever had a problem with one of my stamps, it was a photopolymer, so that's why I'm giving the warning. Chances of you having something wrong is almost negligible, but I would recommend that you checked it first. The reason I did it is because the length of the greeting won't fit into the die that I'm going to be using. Right, so what I'll do is, first of all, I think I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz ink as opposed to the Peekaboo Peach. I don't think the Peekaboo Peach will show up all that much. So, because this is getting die cut, I don't have to worry too much about getting it straight. I just need to make sure that I leave enough space at either end. So that's happy birthday rather. And now, you are the sweetest. There's another one in there that would be ideal for the pears, and it does say we make a great pear, but I'd rather have You Are the Sweetest. Okay, so now I need to die cut these out and this bit. So I'm just going to bring the Big Shot up, move all my pears out of the way, don't want them squashed. Right, here we go. The die that I'm using is from a set called Bunch of Banners. I don't think I've used this on a video yet, and it's this stamp set here which die cuts these. I can't think if there's a stamp, there must be a stamp set that goes with this, I would have thought. This is older than when I started putting the names of stamp sets here. I should have checked it, but this is the one I'm going to use because this die cuts that bit and that bit. So that's going to cut out the stamped bit. That I'm not going to be using. I saved that just in case. And then I'm going to die cut this one, and I'm going to use the outside one, but not the orange one. This is really very much underused, I think. I am going to try and use it more because I think it's such a great idea. Okay, so that bit comes out nice and easily. I need my paper piercer for this one. There we go, and that's what I'm going to put around my sentiment. Let's turn it so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so just want to make that in the centre, and so it looks like it's straight. Well, I don't think it is actually straight, but then I don't think the writing is straight because the tails of the two Y's aren't level. Oh dear. Okay, so that's my sentiment, but I need to remove this. Okay, that's why I'm saving that, because that could be used. And then You Are the Sweetest, again, make it in the centre. Straight. More or less. The happy birthday on the card doesn't have the orange frame around it, it's just as it is. Right, I'll sort that bit out when I'm tidying up. Okay, so and that bit there. So I don't need this again. And it's just a question of putting the card together. Right, the only bit we need to do is to pop that in there and to make sure it stays in there. And the way I do that is, did I bring, yes, my silicone craft mat over. So, which way did I do? Yes, I did. what I do on this is, again, with my tear and tape, I take a piece that's almost the length of this, but not quite, and then I adhere it along there. Then I put another piece on this side, then I will turn it over and pop that on top. Okay, and when you're happy, and press it down. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm now going to take this off, if I can find my paper piercer. No, but I can find my tweezers. And I think I will use the larger dimensionals. Shall I? No, I know what I'm going to do. Because on the other one I used my long strips off of here. You'll see I haven't got much left now. So what I'm going to do is, I like to cover most of that tape up, because I feel that if it isn't supported, if it gets pressed down onto the card, it will stick down. You know, so if I put enough dimensionals on it, it will stop that from happening. I think this tear and tape is probably the stickiest double-sided tape I've ever used. And I always used to use this. I mean, I always used to use double-sided sticky strip. Right, so that one's okay. This one can just go on, I think, this... Will you take large ones? Yes. Let me just have 3 on that one. So that's okay. That's all alright. So, just put my card together now. That. Oh no, that's my scrap, isn't it, that one? Right, so inside my card, I'd already put all my tape on the back here. There we go. And then on the front of the card, what I do with this one is I want the stripes at the top. I put tape on this one also. Oh, didn't mean to take it all off. That's alright, we can put that back again. Oops, come on. That's it, I only want that much down. And that much. So the stripes are going on the top, and I'm just going to leave a small gap there. Looks like oh no, that's alright. I could see some of the covering coming out there. I thought maybe it meant that there was some glue coming out as well, but it doesn't. Right, okay. Now, same again. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to line it up exactly the same as I did for the black stripes. If it leaves a gap in between the two pieces, that's okay, because I've got the Peekaboo Peach piece that's going to cover up that. Right, there we go. Yeah, it looks as if I've got to overlap that slightly. Am I within shot? Possibly. Right, okay, let's bring that down a little bit. It looks a little bit longer, but I'm not going to worry. By the time I've got the orange piece on, I don't think it'll notice. Okay, so that's my top bit, and I want this to be on the lower part rather than upper. And what I do with this is, again, I use sticky strip. In fact, shall I just try with one? Yeah, let's just try one piece. I'm also going to say that I use two pieces, but they do overlap. Always trying different things. There we go. Just try and make sure that that comes right to the end. Now that glue has come over the edge a bit. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grid paper to line up. Now I know that that is the centre. In fact, I don't need that bit at the moment, that's for my bowl. This is the bit I need. So, I need a line that's going just above that. Okay, so I'm going to go for that line there. And I can see that that's straight across. So, let's see if we can do this. Oops. Right, now you want to go to that line there. Phew, yep, lucky. Very, very lucky. At least it's straight. Okay, now let's put everything together. First of all, the bowls. Now I'm going to use those, leave those strips on there, but obviously the dimensionals won't stick to them. So as long as the dimensionals are on cardstock, then that's fine. It just keeps that gluey bit covered up. You see that what I'm doing is just making sure that the dimensionals are just onto the edge of that, the cover to the tear and tape. Right, now this is where I need halfway. Right, so I've judged that with this. Can you see this bottom bit? Yes, you can now. Okay, so I've made it equidistant between there. So my centre bowl is going to go that one. Have I got one that's more full than the other? Don't think so, because I did them all 7, didn't I? And I have them sitting on the tablecloth. The first one I had them floating in the air, which did look a bit silly, I have to say. And then that I'm just doing what looks to be equidistance again. Okay. And then the top birthday greeting, that goes across the middle bowl. Okay, let's get that back into the centre again. And then this one. Might as well go and get yourself a cup of tea while I'm taking all these backings off of these. I am very pleased to say that I've had lots of people join my Facebook group called Happy Crafting. If you'd like to join as well, I'd love to see you on there. It's a place where we just share all our different projects that we make. Great for getting ideas and inspiration. Right, now I'm going to do this in the centre as well. I think it was the right idea to do the sentiment in green. Now that is not straight. Oh, come on. What is this, 4th time lucky? I think that's better. Right, now I'm going to put the fruit on the table. And obviously, if you don't want fruit on the table, you don't need to. And also put one down here on the sentiment as well. In fact, just to be different, let's have one that side. I'm not going to do both sides. Oops. That one can be laying over. I only did 6, so I'll just have 2 up this end. And I'll do one laying down as well. Now I've got to put this inside my card, no, on my card rather, not inside. Let's do it round that way, shall we? So that's that way. Nope. Right. Let's go for it. And then last thing I need to do is just to put 3 pairs on the inside. Oh, that looks a lot brighter, doesn't it? Right, so this is where Tom comes. I don't say Tombow often enough now, do I? Right. Can't do that left-handed. Oh, it's come out a bit thick. Let's just lock that on that bit of paper there. And there we go. There's today's card. Got some pairs left over. But I hope you like this project. Is it fiddly? A little bit, I suppose, but not too fiddly to stop it from being a pleasure to make. I hope you like it. This is definitely a lot brighter, isn't it? Much better. Thinking, I wonder what my chances are of actually getting these pairs off and covering that up with orange. Probably best left well alone. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments to make or any questions to ask, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to hear your comments and to help you if you have any questions. I'll also put all the products and the measurements in the box below. And there'll be, if you want to buy any of the products that I featured here today, there'll be a link to my 24/7 in the shop, in the box below the video. In fact, everything will be down there. If you'd like to go and see my blog, it's at www.jambicards.com. I post every day, and normally it's a new card every day, and not all the cards I make it as far as a video, so you will see new ideas over there. If you've enjoyed my video and like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And finally, tomorrow is the 27th of March, which means we've just got 4 days left on celebration. So if there's anything, if you've got your eye on any of the free gifts or anything, you've got 4 days in which to get your orders in. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.